Hi, welcome to Math 112 IN1 for the fall 2023 semester at SWIC. My name is Jennifer Simonton and I am your instructor for this course, and I just wanted to take a few minutes to walk you through the syllabus, show you how to navigate the online learning format, our new learning management system Brightspace, and my math lab, and just go over all the important things you need to know before you get started. So like I said, my name is Jennifer Simonton. I've been teaching at SWIC for 21 years and teaching math overall for 25 years. I've been teaching this course, algebra, that entire time. And I've been teaching it online for about 6 years or so. So I'm excited to get started this semester, and I'm excited to meet all of you. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to show you how to get started in accessing all of the required course materials and go over the syllabus. All right, so when you log into Brightspace, this is the, and you get to your account, you should see a screen very similar to this. So you'll have all of your classes listed over here on the left side, and then some announcements that have been sent out either by your instructors or SWIC over on the right side. So if you're watching this video, you've either already been in Brightspace and seen this as an announcement, or you had checked your email and got it that way. So if you have not been into Brightspace yet, that's the first thing you're going to need to do, okay, is log into there. And once you get to there, you're going to have to scroll through the left side of your screen here and find this course, okay? So these are all the courses I'm teaching. So our class is College Algebra, Math 112 IN1. All right, so you're going to click on that to open that up, and then that will take you to a screen that looks like this. All right, so over here on the left are all the things that are going to be needed to get started, and then once you've gotten through some of those things, you will only need to go back to a couple of those to work through the course. All right, so let's start here with the syllabus. Okay, so your syllabus, you click on this tab right here, and then that will pull up this file. You'll have to click on this file and open that up. All right, so let's kind of walk through what this says. All right, so this first page here is just some information about the course, Math 112 IN1. These links right here, I would encourage you to click those and read through the website. These are policies about like attendance, just general college policies that are important for students. Support services, so like our Success Center, our Testing Center, things like that. Okay, so that's what these two links right here are for. All right, course information. This is my name, your instructor, Jennifer Simonton. This is an online course, so there is no class time. Asynchronous just means that you can work on your own time and complete. There's no specific time you have to log in for lectures or anything like that, and again, no room number. So you're accessing everything through your computer. 4 credit hours. We start on August 19th, tomorrow, or depending on when you're watching this, I guess, but that's the start date. The last day to withdraw is November the 6th. Okay, so I'll send out reminders about that later, but after that, if you are still enrolled in the course, you have to receive a letter grade. Okay, that is your deadline to withdraw if you're considering a withdrawal. My office hours, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, every day of the week. I have set aside that time slot 9 to 9:50 a.m. If you're on campus, you can come to my office, room 2047 in the main complex on the Belleville campus, or we can set up a Teams meeting. Again, if that's not a good time for you, which it's not for a lot of people who are taking an online class, just reach out to me via email and we can set something else up. I can meet via Teams at whatever time is convenient for both of us. All right, my email here, this is how you're going to contact me most of the time if you need to get in touch with me or have a question about anything. Jennifer.simonton@swic.edu, and then that's just the SWIC website listed right there. Okay, the course description, prerequisites, objectives, that stuff you can read on your own. All right, so I'm not going to read these to you. These are just things, so it tells you how you would be placed into this course. Either you placed above Math 97 or you completed that with a grade of C or better, or there are other criteria. But if you're enrolled, then you must have met the prerequisites. And then these objectives are just kind of a detailed list of all the specific things we're going to be learning, okay? So let's scroll down here to this next page. Same thing here. These are just kind of things that the college needs to put in here about kind of how the course is going to be run. So let's go down here to what we're going to need to do. All right, so textbook course material. So you're required to sign up for My Math Lab. That includes all your book, your homework, your assignments, everything. All right, you do not have to purchase a physical textbook, but if you prefer to have an actual hard copy of the textbook, this is just listing what it is. You do not have to purchase anything for My Math Lab. Okay, all that should be enrolled or already rolled into the course fees that you've already paid, and you have access to all of that stuff. So you do not have to buy anything extra. All right. As far as a calculator goes, that is something, if you don't own one already, that you might want to invest in. You're not going to need it on day one, but there are going to be certain sections that we go over and cover that if you have a graphing calculator, it is going to be very, very helpful. Okay, so if you don't own a graphing calculator, I would recommend to get the TI-84. Any version of that is fine. The TI-83 is very similar. If you have that, that would be fine. Okay, the only calculators that you won't be able to use in a test situation, because those you're not going to do at home, you're going to come to campus in person for those. You're not allowed to use a calculator that has a CAS, meaning a computer algebra system. So the Inspire calculator, if you have the regular version, that's fine, but if it has the CAS, C-A-S, on it, you cannot use that calculator, and also the TI-89 is not allowed. Okay, but the TI-83, 84, or just a basic scientific calculator is fine. It's just that some things you'll see later, the graphing calculator is going to be a big time saver. Okay, so that is something that you might want to think about. I do believe our library and or our Success Center and maybe even the testing center can loan those out to you. Okay, you can rent them if you don't have one, so you might want to look into that. Okay, so this is a breakdown of your how your grade is determined in all the assignments. So homework, we'll talk about that in a minute, but all those homework assignments that you'll have throughout the semester collectively as a total is worth 50 points of your grade. Test review, so before there's a test, there's an assignment that's titled a test review. So there'll be 3 of those. Each of those are worth 5 points, which would be 15 total. Plus you'll have one for the final exam that's a little bit longer, so it's worth 10 points. So altogether, 15 and 10 would be 25 points for the test reviews. All right, and then each of those test reviews, those 3 test reviews, account or go with each of the 3 regular tests. So each of your regular chapter tests are worth 100 points, so that's 300 points for tests. And then that final exam at the end is comprehensive. It's given at the end of the semester, and that's worth 125 points. So the total point value for the whole course is 500. Okay, and grades are determined just by how many points you've earned out of how many points possible. And in Brightspace, we'll look at this in a minute, there is a grades tab that'll keep track of that for you. So you can tell what your grade is at any time by logging into Brightspace and clicking on the grades tab. All right, so here are some the important information about how to work through this course. All right, you have to be able to navigate both Brightspace and My Math Lab to do your assignments. Okay, you will log into Brightspace, and from there, then you will get to the homework assignments that are contained in My Math Lab. All right, before you begin homework, you're encouraged to open, view, and take notes on the lecture videos that are posted in the course content tab. Okay, and they're in a lecture video folder there. Do not skip that step. Okay, that's the equivalent of going to class. That's how you're going to learn the content. It's a video of me. You will hear me and see on the screen my lecture notes and me going over step by step how to do the problems in that section. Okay, so in an online class, you have to find time to fit that into your schedule. Okay, the videos are usually fairly short, anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes or so. But if you don't go through that and learn it first, it's going to be hard to get through the course. Those written out lecture notes that you see in the video are also posted in PDF form in the lecture notes folder, again under the course content tab in Brightspace. Okay, so if you'd like to have access to those and not have to write everything down on your own, you can. Okay, or if you just want to print those out and then make notes extra notes on them for yourself, I put those in there. I would prefer myself to take my own notes just because writing things down helps me remember things better, but that's up to you. So those are in there for your reference if you'd like. All right, homework will be assigned in My Math Lab for every section of the book. It's set up as a learning tool, okay? In My Math Lab, you get unlimited attempts to get a problem correct on homework. Okay, there are due dates. All right, again, the homework for the whole semester is worth 50 points. Okay, so when I say unlimited attempts in My Math Lab, when you click on a problem and you type in an answer, okay, if it's right, it'll say great job and it'll count it right. If it's wrong, it usually gives you 3 tries to get it right. Okay, so if you've missed it 3 times in a row, it's going to say, sorry, that's wrong, but here's the right answer, and it'll mark it wrong. All right, but at the bottom of your screen, you'll see a little tab that says similar question or something like that. If you click that, it'll just change the numbers and give you a new problem, and you can do that until you get it right. You can click that button as many times as you need. Okay, if you click it 10 times and finally get it right, you get full credit for that problem, no matter how many tries it took, whether you got it right on the first try or the 10th try. All right, so it's designed for you to learn how to do it. There are also help buttons within My Math Lab. If you get stuck, you can click on View an Example to see an example done for you. You can click on Watch a Video or Help me with this problem, right, or things like that. Okay, so your notes should be able to help you if you watch the video first, but then there's also extra help features within the software. All right, due dates. Each homework assignment has a due date, okay, and we'll go over that calendar and when things are due here in a minute, right? So pay attention to that. So if you don't get it done by the due date, you can do it late, but there's a penalty for that. All right, test reviews. Again, they're assigned in My Math Lab. Each one goes with one of the regular chapter tests. They are set up also as homework assignments, so same format. Those are worth it. That whole assignment is worth 5 points. Okay, so each one 5 points. All right, again, pay attention to due dates. Test reviews cannot be done late. If they are not done by the due date, which is the day the test is also due, then you cannot go back and do them for partial credit later. All right, tests, 3-chapter tests. Each of those covers about 2 to 3 chapters of material, and they're worth 100 points apiece. Okay, this is important. Each test must be taken in My Math Lab again, that you access through the computer, at a SWIC testing center. Okay, you don't get to sit at home and do those and use all your notes and things. All right, you have to make an appointment with the testing center, come in to take the test, and you have to have a photo ID. We'll go over how to schedule those appointments and those rules here in just a second. All right, but proctored testing is a requirement of all SWIC math courses. Okay, so you're going to have to set aside time during the week or whenever, sometime before the due date of each test, to come into campus to take your tests. All right, when you get to the testing center, you'll log into Brightspace at a computer, click on Access Your Exam through My Math Lab. Once you open your test, it'll prompt you for a password. The proctor at the testing center will come over and put that in for you. You just need to tell them if you're taking test 1, 2, or 3, and then you click Start. It'll time you. You'll have 75 minutes to complete the test. Okay, when you're finished, you're going to click Submit. You can use a calculator, either scientific or the graphing TI-84 or something similar, but it cannot have a CAS. So the TI-89 and the Inspire CAS are not allowed, and you cannot use an app on your cell phone at all when you're in the testing center during a test. Okay. Once you click Submit on your test, you'll see a score. Okay, do not panic if you think, oh my gosh, I thought I did way better than that, or, you know, you're upset about that score. My Math Lab is very picky about formatting. It will mark things wrong even if the answer's right, but you have things in the wrong format. Okay, so after a test, I go in and look at every single question on every person's test like I would be grading a test that was submitted in person. And if you have the right answer but in the wrong form, I will override that and give you credit for that, okay? Also, if you have the wrong answer but you have turned in your scratch paper and shown work, and I can follow your steps and I know, oh, you just made a small little mistake, I can give you partial credit, all right? So after I've had a chance to review all of the tests, once they've been taken, your grade will likely improve, sometimes very significantly, after I've been able to add in the partial credit, okay? All right, Final exam review, that's the same as a regular test review, just a little bit longer. So that's where it's comprehensive over everything. So it's worth 10 points instead of 5. And then your final exam is a comprehensive exam. So it covers everything for the whole semester. That happens during finals week at the end. You have 2 hours to complete the final at the testing center. Same format as regular tests, just longer. All right, and that one's worth 125 points. The deadline for the final exam to be completed, the end of the semester, is Thursday, December the 14th. All right, this is the statement I just talked about partial credit, okay, on your tests. On your homework and stuff, I don't do that because you can try it again. You can always try it more than one time, right, to get it right. So you should be able to fix those errors in terms of formatting. But on a test, you don't know that it's wrong until they just give you a grade. So that's why I go back in. So anyway, if you want partial credit for wrong answers on those tests, you turn in your scratch paper. Make sure that you try to do your work in somewhat of an organized fashion, not just writing numbers down randomly in all different places. But you don't have to do, you can jump around and, not do things in order, but just make sure that you label things. Like if this is problem 3, it needs to say this number 3 and then work it out. All right. And then you turn that into the proctor at the testing center and they will pass that along to me. All right, late work and makeup work. Okay, everything has a due date. Assignments are expected to be completed by their due dates. If for some reason on homework, that does not include your test reviews, just regular homework, you are allowed to complete the assignment after the due date, but you have a 15% grade deduction. The deadline for all of those late homework submissions is Sunday, December the 10th. All right, so let's say something was due on Friday, but you didn't get to it in time and you don't do it till the next, say, Sunday night. If you do the whole thing late and you get everything right, instead of getting 100, you get 85%. The penalty only applies to problems done late. So let's say you got half of it done before the due date but didn't finish it, and you go in and finish the other half later, that 15% grade deduction only applies to the problems that you did late. So you might be able to get like a 90% or something. Okay? It's definitely worth going back to do the homework that you miss, not just for learning purposes, but 85%, that's still pretty good in terms of points. All right, if you have to miss a test, okay, it's your responsibility to provide appropriate documentation of an excused absence, okay? Please note, vacation, being out of town, or having a work schedule conflict is not excused. You're expected to work around those things on your own. All right, you are responsible for initiating a makeup. Okay, I'm not going to remind you, oh, by the way, you missed the test last week. Okay, if you don't contact me, then you get a 0. At the end of the semester, if you miss one test, I can replace it with the final exam score, so you don't have a 0, but if you miss more than one, any additional missed tests, you just have to get a 0. Right? Excuse that, you're not guaranteed to be able to make it up, okay? If you don't have a valid reason for missing it, okay, then you don't get to make it up, and if you can't make it up within a reasonable amount of time, then you may not be able to make it up. So pay attention to that and make it a priority to not miss tests. Also, you don't have to miss a test to benefit from the final exam replacement policy. Okay, maybe you take all 3 tests, but on the final, your grade is higher than any of those tests. If your final exam score is higher than your lowest test grade was, I'll replace that lowest test grade with your final exam score. Okay. Let's see here. So this is your calendar. Okay, this is something you might want to print, at least this part of it, just because it is all these things are also posted in Brightspace. We'll look at that in a minute, but this is kind of the hard copy of the schedule of when things are due. All right, good time management is key to being successful in an online course, okay? You are encouraged to work ahead, meaning you don't have to do each assignment within the week it's assigned. If you want to work ahead and, do things before the due date, that's fine. All right, do not make a habit of waiting until the last final day to start the assignments, especially homework, okay? You should be working throughout the week. So for example, we start August 19th, so that first week's going to run August 19th through the following Friday, August 25th. So there's 2 assignments for that week, 1-5 and 2-1. Complete the homework assignments for those sections no later than Friday, August 25th. Okay, you don't have to wait till Friday, August 25th to start all of that. Okay, if you want to get those done today, then fine, do them today and get started on week 2. All right, so you can kind of tell here, usually 2 to 3 assignments a week. All right, so you're expected to watch video, take notes, right? Then go into MyMathLab, complete the homework. Okay, that stuff for these 2 sections, week 1. The next 2 sections due by the end of the second week, and so on. All right, week 4 is our first test. So that week, you'll complete the homework, which is the review for that test, and get that test done all in that week by Friday. Okay, so don't wait till Friday to start working on the review. You got to take a test by the time the testing center closes that day. So maybe you should be working on that review at the beginning of the week, and you can take the test any day during that week or before. Like if you're ahead and you want to take test, this should say test 1, not test 2. I just caught that there. Right, so test number 1, right, if you want to take it the week before, if you're ready, fine. Okay, just no later than Friday, September 15th. All right, and then so on and so forth from here. Okay, so test 2 is week 8, test 3 is week 12, and then this is kind of caught in a page break here. This is 7-2 and 7-3 here. And then finally at the end of the semester, the week before is just working on that final exam review, and then the finals week, this is the only thing not due on a Friday. The final exam is due on Thursday the 14th. Everything else is due when the week ends on a Friday. Okay? All right. Academic rigor, that's just letting you know you're going to have to spend a significant amount of time kind of working on things outside of just completing homework. And then there's not really an attendance policy, except for you need to be participating in class by logging into Brightspace and MyMathLab and meeting your deadlines. Okay, if you don't log in or contact me or communicate with me over a period of 7 consecutive days and you've done nothing, you could be withdrawn by lack of participation. Okay, it doesn't mean you're automatically withdrawn, kind of just depends on maybe you're working ahead, so because you've got a week that you're not going to be able to do much, that's fine. All right, but that could happen. Remember, November 6th, after that date, I cannot withdraw you. I can't give you a W. So if you have been keeping up and doing things all along, good or bad, up until that point and you're still enrolled, then I have to give you a letter grade, okay, after November the 6th, okay? So the withdrawal policy would not apply after that, okay? All right. So that's your syllabus. You can go back and refer to that, print it out. I know there's this kind of formatting is strange where there's some blank space here. I didn't really have control over that, but that's the syllabus. All right, so let's go back over here and look at the next thing. All right, so how do you do the homework? You got to get into MyMathLab first. All right, so here are the instructions. So you're going to click on this and then open that file. You'll do this one time only. All right, these are the instructions to get into MyMathLab. Go into Brightspace, access your math course. Okay, just open it up. There's an access code icon, looks like this. You're going to click on that. Once that is clicked on, there'll be a link that says BNC course materials. You're going to click on that link. Right, under that then, your math course should pop up. You might have other courses using Pearson. Make sure you're finding the one that says college algebra. Click on this reveal code, okay? Copy that code either with your mouse or write it down on paper. It'll be a bunch of random letters and numbers. Okay, then go back to the content tab at the top. Come down here, select the MyMathLab tab. This will pop up. Click on this Pearson LTI 1.3, and then you can start the registration process. If you've never used Pearson with Brightspace before, you probably have to click a box that says I accept agreement, and then either create your account or log into a Pearson account. Okay, if you've never done it with Brightspace, that'll be prompted first. If you have, you'll go straight on to the next step. So follow whatever directions pop up here. Once you get to this page, you're going to click this access code button on the left. This is to buy something. You don't have to buy anything. You have an access code that you copied previously, so click that button, put in the access code you copied, and then you should be ready to go. Okay, so if you need to refer back to these directions, they are here. Okay? All right. So here's that access code right here. You can click that from here or from that other page, like if you were on this page from the beginning. Whoops, there's your access code right here. Okay, all right, MyMathLab. Once you've done all of that, right, and you've done this and gotten in there, okay, when you come back to do your work, okay, after that's a one-time thing, all right, course content is where your videos and lecture notes are contained. So you're going to click on course content. All right, and then there's your lecture videos, 1.5, 2.1. There's 2 parts to some of these because when I first started to make these, I was limited on time for these videos. After a while, though, there's like after this first group, there's not 2 parts usually. All right, but they're labeled by section. So if a section has a part 1 and a part 2, you'll have to watch both, but they're short. Okay, so there's your videos. You just click on watch the video from YouTube. All right, so these are all videos for test number 1. Right, all those sections. This is where you have videos for test 2, etc. Okay, so these you can click over here to switch. All right, here's your lecture notes tab. So these are the PDF copies of the notes contained in each of those videos. Okay, again, they're broken down by test. For test 1, here's test 2, test 3, etc. All right, so that's where you're going to find that. While we're in course content over here, some other links. Testing center information. Actually, that's not in that folder, I think that's separate, so we'll come back to that later. All right, so course content, lecture videos, lecture notes. All right, click back up here. All right, this tab right here is where you're going to go to do your homework, okay? I know you had to use it to get logged in, but once you've done all of that, when you need to do homework, you're going to click on MyMathLab. And then you can go in here to get into MyMathLab like you did before, or each of those assignments, you can just directly click on the link and it'll take you right to there. So if you need to work on section 1.5, right, you're just going to click on 1.5 right here, and it'll take you directly, once you've done all the registration stuff, right into here, and then you can start. So question number 1. Okay, you have watched the video, you know how to do this, right? Type in the answer here, right? So notice down here if you need help or you want to see an example. The more help button means you can watch a video, not my video, but something produced by the publishing company. You can read the textbook if you'd like, or ask my instructor means you can send me an email with a direct link to this problem and I can try to help you from there. Okay? All right, so once you type your answer in your box, you'll come down here and click check. It'll tell you if it's right or wrong. Okay, if it's wrong, you get to try a few more times. All right, once you've exhausted all your options, it will say similar problem where you can change the problem and try again if you want. But if you check and get it right, it'll put a little green check mark here, and then you can move on to question number 2 and work through it from there. Okay? You don't have to do them all at once. However many you have time to do at a time, you just do those, and you just click save over here. Okay, and then you'll come back and you can X out of that screen and get back to whatever you need to do next. Okay, so content will give you a list like this. If you click up here on the class title, it'll bring you back to the screen that has those same things in this format. All right, in the announcement and the email I sent out, this is where you find your discussion board. If you want to submit an introduction for extra credit, you'll click on, here's mine right here, you'll click on mine, and then you should be able to start a new one and put yours in there. Okay? Let's see here. Let's go back to here. course content. Okay, so down here, these last two, Success Center information, we have free tutoring on campus through our Success Center. So if you click on that, you can access just general information about the Success Center, where they're located and when they're open, and then a student guide document, okay? Also up here under support services, Success Center is listed there. They have online tutoring available. If you need any other support services here, after hours tutoring, if you have Disability and Access Center accommodations, there's information on that. Just general student support services are up there as well. Okay. The other thing here was Testing Center. Remember I said, let's go back to this view, that you'll have to make appointments to come in and take your tests, okay, at the Testing Center. So if you click on this tab right here for Testing Center information, there are 3 links. Hours and locations, okay, we have 2 locations, Belleville campus, Granite City campus. Last I checked, the website also has Redbud campus listed. That is no longer in service, okay, there's no testing center at the Redbud campus anymore, so it's only Belleville or Granite City. So depending on where you live, or maybe one of them has better hours on a certain day, you can find all that here. This link will take you to the guidelines about having to have a photo ID and all that kind of stuff about their rules. But when you need to schedule an appointment, this is your link, okay? So appointment request link, you're gonna click on that, and you wanna do this, you cannot just walk in on the day of, or you can't get on the computer on Friday morning and try to make an appointment for Friday, okay? They require 24 hours at least in advance, preferably more than that, all right? So you're gonna click on that, you're gonna come here and pick your campus, so Belleville campus, and then you'll pick your date. So let's say you're ready to take your test on August the 31st, and then you can pick a time, okay? And it'll give you all the available time slots for your test. Okay, or if you chose Granite City campus, it'll give you a different schedule for when they have appointments available. Okay, then you'll go through and fill out the form and book it. Okay, but you'll need to do that at least 24 hours in advance. And if you wait until Thursday and get in there and think, I need to take my test Friday, I'm going to make my appointment Thursday, and if they're all taken up and there's none available, you're just out of luck. Okay, do it early. All right, if you know you have I'll send out a reminder usually the week before. If you know a test is due on a Friday, usually the week before is when you want to come in here and get your appointment scheduled to make sure that they have enough times for it to work for you. Okay? All right. Let's see here. I think that is pretty much everything that I can go over with you today. We talked about syllabus, instructions for getting my math. Once you've done this and these 2 things, you only need one time, right? Once you've read through those and done the steps that require the access code, you won't need those links anymore. So the rest of the stuff down here is kind of where you're going to be coming back to each time. All right, if you have any questions about anything at all, please do not hesitate to contact me through email or come by and see me in my office. I am here to help at all times. I look forward to a great semester. All right.